Welcome to Trowel Talk, people. I hope everyone's doing good. If you're unfamiliar with this channel, we're plasterers based in Warwickshire and we're vlogging all of our work for you guys, and we're also training our apprentice Curtis in the art of plastering. Today he fancied his chances at some floating set, so we've saved a couple of panels for him on a bay window, and he's going to be scratch coating some hardwall, top coating and then skimming. So join us and you can see what we're up to. Enjoy the video. Consider subscribing if you're into your plastering, if you're learning it, if you're a beginner, or even if you're a seasoned plasterer. You might find some value and some giggles in the videos, and yeah, like, share, comment, subscribe and all that jazz. Let's get stuck in. Curtis is doing a little bit of hardwall today, guys. We've set him up on two small panels on a bay window. So we're going to get him to throw a scratch coat on, follow it with his top coat. Let's jump straight in. So we're in a spot of float and set today. Hardwall. So we want to be troweling on around, I don't know, 5-6 mil, and we're just putting a scratch coat on over the brick initially. When you come to do the very top, film me a minute. When you do the very top, where it meets the top, if you get some gear on the end of your trowel like that, okay, push it in and just go sideways. Yeah? Yeah. Rather than, you can do it like that, but it tends to drag it back out from the top. Just put it on the top. Yeah? Yeah. Sideways. I'll do the bottom half here, just to give you an idea of the sort of thickness that we're looking at.
Obviously, because it's different at college.
Yeah, well, college you've been using sand and cement. This is hardwall. So this is gypsum. So you want it just somewhere like that sort of thickness. Yeah. Try and just get it as flat as you can. Then we'll scratch that up then and put another mix over the top. Yeah? Yeah. Use this 20-inch, right? Yeah. And the most important thing now is this edge down here. Got to get that right, so that's a bit thick at the top. So what we're going to do, we're going to find where our joint is. You do that by going onto the existing plaster. Okay, get that flat and see where the existing plaster meets your plaster. Just back there somewhere, and just work back from that.
Obviously you go over the line, onto the line that you've already done, so you don't miss anything.
Yeah. This wall here, this little panel, you get these little panels right. When you come to do a big wall, you're just repeating the process but on a bigger scale. Remember, this ain't skimming, so we're looking at thickness. We've got to get a nice thickness. Start to firm up a bit, Curtis, now. Got to hustle a bit now and get it on. Just repeat the process again, Kurt. All the way along. Don't want to lose that corner.
No. And that little hole there.
What we're looking at, right, is these two angles here. So we've got that one there, 'cause this is where the skirting's going to sit, you see. So we've got this angle here, and then we've got this angle here. So that's what we're going to be governed by, is this joint there.
That's right.
So use the back of your trowel, okay? This ox is handy because it's nice and straight. It's not been abused yet. We're just going to use the trowel to take off the excess, like that. So we know that this is our flat point here. We know that that's our joint there, that's our line. Again, use the back of your trowel, take off the excess. Same here. You do your skirting line as well. See how it's a bit wobbly, look, Kurt? You see you've got a gap here and a gap here.
Yeah.
So we'll put pressure in the middle and we'll take off the excess like that.
It wasn't like that yesterday when I was doing scratch coats and rendering. It was bang on, level.
Alright, we're learning,
Only because there's not a spirit level to check.
Yeah, we'll just leave that now. Let it firm up and then we'll rub it up. And the float will take care of the rest of it. What you can do, use this plasterboard edge here as your rule, because that's perfectly plumb. And it's about 8mm past the block. So it'll be perfect thickness. Work off that and that will help you. There you go, that's enough. And then from this plasterboard edge here, put the trowel on it sideways and roll it up and down.
That way?
Yeah, and just roll it up the edge of that plasterboard. So that's them two panels. We just need to let them go a little bit now. It'll firm up a bit and then we can rub them up. This ready to rub up now. I hope you can hear me over the plumber. So we've got our float here. There's a few drywall screws that we've tacked into the top, ready for devil scratching or devil float, but they're not protruding at the minute because we want it to just be flat without the screws. So if you splash your edges, Kurt, just like we've talked about on other vids on hardwall, splash along the top, splash along the skirting line. Basically what we're looking to do is use our float and work against the existing plaster this side here, and then we'll run it back down here like this, and we'll run it up and down against our hardwall. And we do that both sides, that will create our angle that we need when we come to skim. We're going to use that as an edge, you see. We're going to work the float against there, and we're going to work up and down like this, all the way to the bottom.
Up and down.
Okay? All the way down to the bottom. If it tears like that, you need to splash it again. That's it. Wet your float. And just give it another go. Up and down. And then from left to right, from the top left to right. Like this, look. So we're using that part of the trowel here. Down the edges, along your skirting line. So you're going to go around in a square. Okay. Keep the float flat to the wall, not like a trowel where you pitch it. Keep the float flat to the wall. and that compresses all the material then. So go round like a square, all the way round, down, across, across, up, across. There you go. Using these edges to work against. Jump back onto this panel and do the same on this panel. Splash all your edges along your top and keep dunking your work. Okay, up and down, you're compressing that material, taking any waves and bumps out of it, ready for your skim coat then. Okay, along the top, using this plasterboard edge to work the float against. If you get any dragging and tearing, just splash it. Up, down, all the way across. There you go, and across. I teach you this when we do bigger panels, but what you do, you go around in circles like this, like that. If you were doing a bigger area, yeah? But that's bang on. And this one now is probably ready for putting a key in. So we'll put a key in there now. So we're just going to show you a little hack we'll use when we're training. Sometimes when you try and devil float, when you're learning, especially on gypsum backing coats like this hardwall, you can end up making a bit of a pig's ear of your work, because your float sticks to the surface and drags the gear off and makes a bit of a mess. So a little hack for you is, get an old dustpan and send your screws like you would your float. Send your screws through the dustpan like Kurt's just doing here, and then we'll show you what we do to create a key using a dustpan rather than using the poly float. It's the same process, same thing. There you go. But because of the shape of this, it doesn't drag the gear off because you're using that back edge of the dustpan. So again, you just have your screws poking out, I don't know, 6mm, 7mm, something like that. You just use the back of your dustpan, and then you can just create your pattern any way you like. They say figure of 8, but it's not written in any law that it has to be a figure of 8. Just give it a good key. Scratch it round and get a decent key on there, that's fine. It's a lot easier using an old dustpan like this than it is using the float. Give it a try if you struggle. We'll do that side now, Kurt. Any way you like. The tiger claw we call it, isn't it, Kurt?
Yeah.
If you're doing this to the book, you'd be doing figure of 8. And that's probably what Tony's teaching in college, is that right?
Yeah, it's just
but again, it doesn't have to be, you know, a number 8. It can just, as long as it's keyed up properly. There we have it, Kurt's first experience of hardwall. What do you think?
good.
Easier than sand and cement or harder?
Probably harder.
Different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Different material.
Very different.
You've been watching Trowel Talk. I hope this video has been helpful to those of you that are learning the trade. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And also we've got a Facebook group, Trowel Talk Plasterers Help Group on Facebook. Jump on board. We run competitions. There's many experienced plasterers on the group that can put their thoughts across if you're stuck on certain areas of plastering. Coming up next week, we're going to look at Vicus fireproof plaster, and we're actually going to put that product through its paces in this little recess right here. So the builder's installed some cement board and the customer's looking for a plaster finish so that they can paint. There's a log burner going in here, guys. So we'll look at that next week. Vicus heat resistant plaster. See how we get on with that product. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.